Goku has just unleashed the Spirit Bomb. Thanks to Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan working together to distract Frieza, Goku's absurd Spirit Bomb hits Frieza with its full intensity, and that's it. It's finally over. The Z Fighters would laugh and breathe a sigh of relief now that the battle is over for good, but this only lasts a few moments, as Krillin notices Frieza is still there. Not only is he still alive, but he also still has fight left in him as well, and he doesn't hold back. Piccolo gets pierced by Frieza's death beam, with Goku urging them all to hurry and get away to safety, while Frieza congratulates Goku for coming the closest of anyone to actually killing him. Right in front of Goku, he uses a telekinetic technique to blow Krillin to pieces, no diddy, and this was the moment that changed everything. This causes Goku to be overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, with something inside of him beginning to break and take over as Goku's mind becomes diluted. What happens next is far worse than even Frieza's worst nightmare. This greenish ray of lightning strikes at the scene as Goku's hair begins to turn this yellowish green hue. And just like that, for the first time in 1,000 years, the legendary Super Saiyan was born. Dad? Gohan calls out to his father, but Goku doesn't respond. He was almost possessed right now. Oh, come on, not another stupid trick. Let me guess, you're now gathering power in your hair or something, Frieza mocks to him, but Goku still doesn't respond. He was completely silent to the point that the very beings that had just contributed to the Spirit Bomb were now backing away in fear of him. Confused and concerned, Gohan tries to approach him, but by the time he takes another step, Goku's already disappeared. Gohan turns around and watches in disbelief as his father pierces through Frieza's chest with a single bare hand. What happened to you, Dad? Gohan wonders. Even though Frieza was easily overwhelmed, Gohan didn't like what was going on at all. Frieza looks up and tries to grab Goku by the neck, but Goku just slaps him across the face. This wasn't a fight, and Frieza understood that now. Right after he killed Krillin, something weird happened to Goku, something that made him, the only word that seems appropriate is unhinged. The overwhelming intensity surging from Goku's presence also momentarily woke up Piccolo. He had no idea what was going on either. All he could do was watch. Frieza would somehow manage to gather enough strength to hit Goku with a death cannon in an attempt to just break free from his clutches, but imagine the horror on his face as Goku would just shrug off that attack like it was nothing, and then he proceeded to rip Frieza apart, a lot like how Frieza did Gas in the Dragon Ball Super manga. Piccolo and Gohan would just watch in horror as Frieza is ripped apart by Goku, and he still wasn't done yet. He charges this green light of energy around in his body and gathers it into the palm of his hand in the form of a spear, and then he waves his fist forward like a punch and completely obliterates whatever was left of Frieza. When the dust settles, Frieza no longer existed in any shape, form, or fashion. He had pretty much been erased. Goku laughs hysterically, and then suddenly he began to lose focus. His hair turns black again, and he gets knocked out by his own energy. Gohan darts forward and catches his dad before he could collapse onto the ground. He was worried, but when he catches his father, he immediately realizes that Goku was just asleep. And now that that picture is painted into your head, this is what would happen if Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan. He definitely wouldn't have been conscious enough to allow Frieza to get away. That much is for sure. It would have been over with. The story would continue with the Earth's Dragon Balls being used to revive all those who were killed by Frieza, and then the Namekian Dragon Balls were used to transport them all back to Earth. The only difference here is that Goku would also return to Earth with everybody. I mean, he was already asleep after all, and it's not like he had a reason to stay behind this time. Frieza was already dead. Of course, Vegeta is also revived and brought back to Earth, but he put some respect on Goku's name real quick when he overheard Gohan's explanation about how Goku transformed and what he did to Frieza. It was unreal. Of course, Vegeta would immediately understand that this must have been the legendary Super Saiyan transformation. So when Goku wakes up a few hours later, he is quick to question him about it, but Goku just looks at him confused. Goku then looks around to find all of his friends and sees Piccolo, Gohan, the Namekians, Bulma, and everybody else, but the one that catches him off guard is Krillin. From Goku's perspective, the last thing he can recall of Krillin was his death at the hands of Frieza, so seeing him now again, he just starts laughing. Guys, you're not gonna believe the crazy dream I had. He starts telling them all about how there was this Frieza guy who wanted to become immortal and how Vegeta got killed after he told him about the Saiyans, and then even the Spirit Bomb didn't work on Frieza, and Goku also tells them all about how Krillin died. He starts laughing because he was glad that, from his perspective, it doesn't seem like any of that really happened in real life, but everyone else is just looking at him strangely. It was Gohan who finally broke the silence by asking Goku if he remembers anything that happened after Krillin died. Goku would shake his head because he genuinely doesn't remember anything. He honestly thought it was a dream. This reminded Bulma of the good old days when Goku used to lose control whenever he transformed into a great ape, and it had gotten so bad that the moon just had to up and be destroyed at one point. Still, after understanding their explanations, Goku understands that something major must have happened to him, and it's really important that he now figures out what that was. Vegeta starts going on about this legendary Super Saiyan or whatever, and how Goku should be ashamed of not even remembering it. This gets Goku curious, and he takes off now. He was headed straight to one of the only people he thought could give him answers, fortune teller Baba. Vegeta also takes off after him, still demanding to know anything he can about the legendary Super Saiyan form. Same goes for Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo following soon after. Once there, Goku asks Baba if she can show him exactly what happened on Namek. She has no clue what they're talking about, but says some random gibberish to the crystal ball, and it works. And now everybody can see exactly what happened the moment Goku turned into the legendary Super Saiyan. Vegeta just could not believe his eyes, but after seeing what Goku did to Frieza, it definitely put a smile on his face. The fact that someone as noble and as pure as Goku could turn into this violent Saiyan savage under the influence of Super Saiyan, it was phenomenal to Vegeta, but after seeing this, can't really say Goku felt the same. He was genuinely upset because that's not him. That is not how he fights, and that is definitely not the kind of martial arts that he was taught by his masters. Grandpa Gohan, Master Roshi, Korin, Mr. Popo, Kami, and even King Kai, nobody taught him to be such a savage like this. Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo notice the obvious distress on Goku's face, but Piccolo just pats him on the shoulder and tells him that they'll figure this all out, with Goku nodding. Apparently, Vegeta also feels the urge to share his opinion now as he looks Goku in the eye and congratulates him for achieving something that not even he himself was able to do. Now, this catches Goku off guard because that's what getting praised by Vegeta would do to you at this point in time, but Vegeta does have a little bit more to say. Right there, without any intent of irony whatsoever, Vegeta asks Goku to teach him how to become a legendary Super Saiyan as well. Piccolo was amused. He references Vegeta's own words and points out that a legendary Super Saiyan only appears once every 1,000 years, so how is he supposed to teach you how to do that? Goku would laugh because, of course, Piccolo does have a point even though he was joking, but he was also curious as well. Why is there such a limitation on who can and can't be this strong? He would excuse himself as he pulls Baba to the side and secretly asks her if she can take a little look at Vegeta's future. She has no reason to refuse Goku, which is why she goes ahead and obliges. A minute later, she tells Goku that not just Vegeta, his son will also become a Super Saiyan as well. Goku could only grin and just thanks her. The stupid look he had on his face suggests that he more or less knew that Vegeta and Gohan were gonna become Super Saiyans anyway, he just wanted confirmation. Now, as he joins the conversation once again, he asks Vegeta if he'd like to train with him now. And right as he hears this question, Vegeta's body and mind come to a fork in the road. He wants to train with him because, of course, he's the one who asked Goku to teach him how to become a legendary Super Saiyan, but his body and ego are kinda struggling to agree with it for some reason. Could it possibly be Vegeta struggling with his inferiority right now? On one hand, he himself suggested the training, while on the other hand, he wants Goku to be the one going along with his idea rather than the other way around. And Piccolo laughing at his humility definitely did not help the situation. Vegeta was embarrassed now. He just leaves and flies away. It takes him an hour to realize that he actually can't get away from Earth even if he wanted to. After all, he doesn't really have a space pod anymore. A few days later, Goku was flying around trying to make sense of the transformation still when he notices Vegeta training by himself in a forest. As expected, he confronts Vegeta, but Vegeta greets him with a punch. This leads to an informal battle between the two Saiyans. Vegeta thinks that if he can push Goku far enough, maybe he'll just get to see the transformation firsthand, but joke's on him because Goku is so far above him now that it doesn't even make sense. As the battle continues, Vegeta is struck by a sudden and somewhat shocking realization. What if Kakarot is just already using the transformation? Vegeta thinks to himself. He was so outclassed right now that the only way he could even make sense of it was by deluding himself to think that he was already fighting against the legendary Super Saiyan. So imagine his surprise and embarrassment when Goku tells him that he doesn't even know how to use the form at will. And that was the last straw. Vegeta wasn't gonna take any more humiliation. That was it. Enraged and bitter, Vegeta plunges forward and lands a brutal kick to Goku's face. Goku was just too careless. He couldn't dodge in time. He was actually too busy laughing. But before Vegeta could even reposition himself, Goku grabs his leg and throws him into the stratosphere, and by the time Vegeta's body reaches the stratosphere, Goku was already there waiting for him. Vegeta notices that his hair is gently fluctuating between green, yellow, and black. He senses this overwhelming aura oozing off of Goku now. It was unlike anything he had ever experienced before. Now Vegeta would stop and tell Goku to stop as well. This change in intensity causes Goku to finally snap out of it. Later, Vegeta rationalizes that his legendary Super Saiyan transformation may be a reaction to extreme, unexpected violence. Goku would kind of agree, and he also mentions that he was somewhat aware of what was going on this time. Vegeta swallows his pride and decides to help Goku train, but he promises himself that one day, even if it takes decades, if it is the last thing Vegeta ever does, he will surpass Goku. 1 year later, King Cold would arrive on Earth looking for vengeance for what Goku did to Frieza. Let me tell you, he sure does change his mind in a hurry though when he sees Vegeta transform into a Super Saiyan right before his very eyes, but it was too late. Vegeta obliterates him before the king could even land a single hit. This wasn't even a fight. Like, low diff is not even accurate. It was like y'all ever taken out a half-empty trash bag before, not even a full one. Goku would just grin as Vegeta proceeds to annihilate the rest of the Frieza Force as well. On this day, the Frieza Force was completely eliminated and their family business had gone bankrupt now, and it was all thanks to Vegeta, his entire journey coming full circle. And that is going to do it for today's video, guys. I really hope you all enjoyed What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan? And if you would like to see more what ifs like this in the future, or maybe even a part 2 to this one, consider leaving a like on the video to help us out in the algorithm. Let's set the like goal to like 2K for this video. That's probably pretty good. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications as well to never miss a video as soon as they go live. And come on, fella, like we gotta work down this 82% right here. Like every time I see this number, I just get hot flash. Like I can't take it. Goku ripped Frieza apart and completely obliterated him from existence. This was it. This was the birth of the legendary Super Saiyan. A year later, King Cold arrived on Earth with his forces to avenge his son's death, but Vegeta goes Super Saiyan as well and eliminates him in a single move. Goku grins as Vegeta proceeds to annihilate the rest of their troops as well. Wow, nice job, Vegeta. I didn't even have to lift a single finger, Goku comments on Vegeta's Super Saiyan transformation. Oh, please, spare me the modesty. But just you wait, Kakarot. I'll definitely surpass you one day, Vegeta declares. He may have completely taken out the Frieza family empire today, but the fact that he's still not the strongest Saiyan leaves a bad taste in Vegeta's mouth. Goku laughs and wishes Vegeta good luck. I'll be waiting for you to catch up, Vegeta, he says, but as expected, his nonchalant attitude further pisses Vegeta off. In the days that follow, Goku starts working on the farm again to make it up to Chi-Chi for his absence, while Vegeta is racking his brain over what could be the best way for him to continue his training. He would go on to learn about the gravity training from Bulma and request Dr. Briefs to make a training room for him. But before we go ahead and dive into part 2 of What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan, guys, if you have not already, consider leaving a like on the video to help us out in the algorithm so more people can discover the content, and consider subscribing and turning those notifications on so you never miss a video as soon as they go live. I think by the time you guys see this video, set 2 of the Dragon Ball Super Fusion World card game should be out. There's a few cards that I've seen that I like, so I'm gonna definitely be looking into that, and hopefully I can give you guys a really competitive video coming up here soon. But without further ado, let's hop right back into What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan Part 2. Fast forward to 1 week later, and it's done. Vegeta's training room is ready. Dr. Briefs would explain that the highest gravity Goku has ever trained on is 100 times Earth's gravity. Without wasting a single second, Vegeta sets it to 100x, but considering how he was already strong enough to become a Super Saiyan at that point, he didn't really even feel it. Vegeta grins because, well, he feels as if he's already doing better than Kakarot. This causes him to get a little cocky, and he ends up setting the room to 1000 times Earth's gravity. Now, the moment Vegeta presses that button, his body starts being ripped apart by that overwhelming pressure. He yells and goes Super Saiyan just to keep himself from losing consciousness, and then he's able to force his way over to pause the gravity. Meanwhile, Piccolo visits Goku to check up on him. "Yo, Piccolo, what's up?" Goku asks. "You know what? This is weird. Why are you farming around like a normal person, Goku? Why aren't you training like usual?" Piccolo asks. Goku just chuckles. He wipes the sweat from his brow with the back of his hand and replies, "Come on, you know how it is. I was training with Vegeta these past few months. Chi-Chi now wants me to work in the fields this summer though, and frankly, I mean, it is kinda nice, isn't it? It's like finally some peace and quiet, I guess, huh?" Hearing this, Piccolo immediately responds, "I'll be real with you, Goku. You've never needed any excuse to train. Just say it. You're wary of your transformation, aren't you?" Goku pauses for a second and then nods. "You're not wrong, Piccolo, but it's also something else. I don't really know how to explain it, but it almost feels like there's something on this planet that's looking forward to my energy," Goku says. And for the sake of context, this could or could not be a spoiler, but he's obviously referring to Cell here. Thanks to the legendary Super Saiyan transformation, Goku's primal senses have evolved beyond comprehension. He can't quite put a finger on it yet, but he knows that there is something on this planet that's keeping an eye on his energy. Of course, in this scenario, the Future Trunks timeline would have never happened because Goku didn't go to Yardrat and he never even caught the heart virus. Though from Piccolo's perspective, none of this really makes sense whatsoever. That makes no sense. The Goku I know would be itching for the next challenge. Well, whatever, do as you please, Piccolo says, and then goes to see Gohan. But intentional or not, Piccolo's words would make Goku reconsider why he's been holding back. Is it just because of some impending threat, or was it because he was afraid of losing control? Now, going back to Vegeta, he has finally overcome 400x gravity in his training. Now, he just trains all day and only ever steps out of the training room when he needs to eat and sleep. He could tell that he was gradually getting stronger and stronger, and he knows that he won't stop until he was strong enough to defeat Goku. Ironically, Vegeta's sense of rivalry isn't even on Goku's mind right now. He was just trying to make sense of who was watching him and from where. It was like having some itch you can't reach. So he just goes ahead and gets back to work. For the next 5 hours, Goku shuts his mind and focuses completely on his work. Whether he meant to or not, this was the kind of training that was slowly integrating his legendary Super Saiyan transformation with the core of his own personality. The next morning, a spaceship lands on Earth and Goku immediately heads there to check it out and see what's up. At the same time, two really intriguing individuals would appear at the lookout. Piccolo senses them and rushes there immediately. It was the Supreme Kai Shin and his attendant Kibito. They were gonna properly explain everything about Babidi and his plans to revive Majin Buu, but suddenly they just cut the conversation short and leave. They do so while Piccolo himself hasn't even arrived yet, so this is all really confusing still. Piccolo actually sees them leaving from a distance and instantly changes course. It takes them less than a minute to arrive at the point where the ship landed, but as fast as they were, it's already too late. Standing before them was one man. He had already completely destroyed the entire ship and everything else. "Oh, sorry guys, I already took care of them," Goku states. "Why? One mistake and you could have awakened Majin Buu," the Supreme Kai says. "By Majin Buu, do you mean whatever the heck that thing is?" Goku responds as he points his finger straight up into the sky, and sure enough, something was forming up there. "Oh no, we're finished," the Supreme Kai panics. He couldn't believe what was happening. He thought that Babidi wouldn't make any moves for another 10 years at the very least, but whatever. They noticed Babidi acting a little suspect and came here to take care of him before they awakened Majin Buu. But not only did they fail to predict when Babidi would act, but they also couldn't stop him in time. The Supreme Kai drops to his knees. It's over. They're finished. What's going on, guys?" Goku asks. Kibito immediately declares that Majin Buu, the embodiment of chaos that terrorized the universe millions of years ago, is now on the loose again. Goku looks up and thinks to himself that he doesn't actually feel any ominous energy coming from above. By this point, Majin Buu had been completely reincarnated. "Hey Goku, why did you just show up here and destroy them all? That's not even like you," Piccolo asks. "Well, I mean, you're not wrong. If there was something strong, I would have loved to fight it, but these guys were all pretty weak, and also, when I showed up, they were talking about destroying the planet when they were done, so I figured I should just take care of them so I could go back to work," Goku replies. The Supreme Kai was stunned. "Well, that's fantastic, Goku. You took care of all the underlings, but now Majin Buu was on the loose," he declares. This sense of impending doom was actually intriguing Goku, so he flies up to confront Majin Buu himself and see what all the fuss was about. Hey there, buddy, who are you?" Goku asks, with Majin Buu replying, introducing himself as cheerful as you would expect him to be right now. "Oh, Buu, huh? I see. So, Buu, how about we do a little contest then?" Goku asks. "A contest?" Buu was curious. "Yeah, it'll be a fight between you and me. If you win, I'll do whatever you want, but if I win, you'll do whatever I want. Sound good?" Goku asks calmly. Buu gets excited excited at the prospect of a challenge and nods right away. Meanwhile, both the Supreme Kai and Kibito are freaking out. Piccolo tries to help them calm down and explain that Goku is strong, don't worry, but then again, is he strong enough to defeat Majin Buu? And seeing the reaction from everyone else, why isn't Goku taking this seriously? Very quickly, the rest of the Z fighters from Gohan to Tien to Vegeta would arrive at the battle as well to assist Goku. I think Goku might have this one in the bag himself though, so they probably don't need to assist that much. He would go on to explain the rules of their challenge to Majin Buu as he states that there are no rules. The moment either of them give up, the winner is decided. That's pretty much it. Buu gives him a thumbs up because, I mean, it's simple enough, even for him, right? The fight would finally begin and one punch is all it takes to send Goku flying straight into the ground. It was gonna be deadly, but Goku pauses his fall midair and then flies up once again. That was impressive. I think I understand why they're so terrified of you, Buu, Goku says. You're fun, Buu replies. Goku would grin. He now knows that Buu is a good opponent to test himself against. He goes legendary Super Saiyan and punches him just like how Buu punched him. In a split second, the impact is felt throughout the entire planet. Just a moment after Goku's punch connected, an almost deafening thunderclap echoes through the planet. Buu was gonna fly beyond the boundaries of the atmosphere and straight into the cosmos, but Goku sped up and caught him. It was insane. From the Supreme Kai to Piccolo to Gohan and even Vegeta, everyone is left completely stunned. Wow. It's like that punch packed enough power to flip the fate of the whole universe, the Supreme Kai comments. As for Goku, he would go on to ask Majin Buu if he wants to concede now or continue. This causes Majin Buu to absolutely lose his mind in a fit of rage, and what happens next is terrifying. It doesn't matter what Buu does or what kind of move he tries to make, Goku not only sees it coming, but he also makes sure to respond to each attack with an appropriate counter. I don't believe it. He's treating Buu like a punching bag, the Supreme Kai states. Curse you, Kakarot. Just how high does your ceiling go, Vegeta adds. Is that really my dad? He never fights like this, Gohan says. With Piccolo adding, yeah, Gohan, it's your dad, and I want you to watch him very closely during this battle. The fight continues on for hours before Majin Buu is finally ready to give up, probably due to hunger. The anger from being so inferior to Goku and not being able to have his way, pretty much being dragged for hours, causes Majin Buu's evil side to finally separate from his good side, but Goku knew something like this would happen. In fact, he was actually waiting on it. That's why the moment evil Buu appeared, Goku appeared in front of him and in one shot, absolutely obliterated evil Buu with a Super Kamehameha. Eventually, good Buu would wake back up after the battle, and in the days that follow, he's hired by Bulma to be Vegeta's training partner. In exchange for unlimited sweets, all he has to do is fight Vegeta for an hour a day. That's it. Meanwhile, Goku continues working on the farm when Piccolo visits him again. I think I understand what's up with you, Piccolo starts. When you use your Super Saiyan transformation, you grow stronger at an incomprehensible rate. You're afraid that you'll grow too strong, right? You don't want your training to be irrelevant, and that's why you've replaced it with farming for the time being. Honestly, that's oddly reflective for a simpleton like you, Piccolo states. Goku would just nonchalantly respond saying, well, when you put it that way, I guess you're not wrong, but don't worry, it's not that deep. Hey, by the way, remember way back when I told you about how I feel like there's someone who's observing me? Well, guess what? Ever since I defeated Buu, that someone has gotten many times stronger. I get the feeling that we're gonna see them soon. And indeed, it was just as Goku had said. Even Dr. Gero was left flabbergasted by what he was seeing. Cell had started throbbing relentlessly, and the supercomputer announces that the time left until Cell's insurgence has been reduced from 2 decades to just 2 years now. At this rate, Cell will be finished before even 17 and 18. I have to step things up as well, Dr. Gero states. And fast forward those 2 years later, he would finally be born. Cell is finally here, and thanks to the rapid progression of everything that's happened with the Z Fighters up until this point, he had no need for 17 and 18. Cell was already perfect day one. The DNA and genetic traits from Vegeta, Frieza, King Cold, and Piccolo were already insane enough. But he also gets Majin Buu's DNA and legendary Super Saiyan Goku's rate of growth. And this would all take place while everyone is celebrating Trunks' birth at Capsule Corp. So you're finally awake, huh? Goku says as he grins and looks up into the sky. Unbeknownst to Goku, he had sped up Majin Buu's reincarnation because of the overwhelming energy he released back on Namek and then during his training with Vegeta. And he also sped up Cell's birth because when Goku's exponential growth became a part of Cell's genetic traits, his entire disposition started growing at an alarming rate. When Goku transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan against Frieza, it led to this kind of chemical reaction that shifted the whole story of Universe 7. Thanks to the legendary energy of Goku's transformation, Majin Buu was resurrected a whole decade before he was due. In the same year as when Vegeta completely annihilated King Cold as well as the rest of the Frieza Force, Goku destroys the evil Buu and good Buu is adopted by Bulma to be Vegeta's training partner. The same villains who could have brought about the downfall of the entire universe were easily taken care of by Goku's legendary Super Saiyan transformation. However, the supercomputer that was building Cell caught a whiff of not just Majin Buu's genetics, but also Goku's exponential rate of growth as the legendary Super Saiyan. This escalated Cell's eventual birth by 10x. The time until Cell's emergence is reduced from 2 decades to just 2 years now. Fast forward to 2 years later, in a surprising twist of irony, Cell is born on the very same day as Trunks. He's able to emerge before any of the other androids because of his accelerated rate of growth, and unlike the original story, this allows him to come out near perfect. I see you're finally awake, huh? Goku grins. Everyone is currently celebrating Trunks' birth at Capsule Corp. What's with that stupid look on your face, Kakarot? Who is it? Vegeta asks. He also sensed something kinda abnormal going on right now too. Well, don't worry about it, Goku tells him, and then flies off in Cell's direction together with Piccolo though. Watching them fly off to potentially fight a strong opponent, Vegeta feels overwhelmed with the urge to follow them, of course, and he was gonna do just that, but Bulma notices this and simply asks Good Buu to hold Vegeta for her. Come on, Bulma, ask him to let me go. I'll be back right away, I swear, Vegeta pleads. What the hell are you even talking about, Vegeta? It's your son's birth and you're distracted by something else? Get your act together or no more gravity training for you, Bulma responds, and with that, Vegeta just gives up. As for Goku and Piccolo, it barely takes them any time to reach Dr. Gero's lab. Once there, they bear witness to a theoretically perfect warrior. Whoa, I didn't know if it was possible to be this strong. Just what are you? And what have you been doing on Earth for the past 2 years, Goku asks. Piccolo is intrigued by Goku's statement. He realizes that this is the thing Goku was telling him about 2 years ago. Oh, of course, Goku, I know you knew. I also feel incredibly fortunate that the computer was able to catch the genetic traits of someone so supreme. Thank you, I appreciate it, Cell states. That is a weird way to introduce yourself, Goku says. Yes, you asked who I am, right? I am Cell, he replies, but Goku and Piccolo just stare at him all confused. So finally, Cell would give them his real introduction. Alright, allow me to introduce myself. I am Cell, the culmination of the universe's greatest warriors. The Super Namekian Piccolo, Vegeta, King Cold, Majin Buu, as well as Goku, the legendary Super Saiyan. I have gained abilities and genetic traits from all of these people. Piccolo's regeneration, Vegeta's pride and work ethic, King Cold's ability to survive anywhere, Majin Buu's boundless ki and adaptability, and of course, Goku's unparalleled rate of growth and power. I am the greatest masterpiece this universe has ever produced, Perfect Cell declares. And just in case anyone was wondering, the reason he didn't mention Frieza is because Frieza was destroyed by Goku on Namek before Gero programmed the supercomputer. Now, hearing Cell's introduction makes Goku scratch his head, but his sixth sense understands exactly what Cell is talking about. Goku can feel it in his soul that Cell is superior to him. Goku, if what he is saying is true, then we have to consult the Supreme Kai at once. Cell is several times more dangerous than Majin Buu after all, Piccolo says. Yeah, everything he's saying is true, but don't worry about contacting the Supreme Kai. This is Earth's problem. I'll handle Cell myself, Goku declares, and he was just brimming with anticipation right now. Are you sure? I have no intention of standing in your way, but if he also has your genetic traits, then he's not only superior to you in every way, but he's also able to grow just as fast as you. It'll be a battle of attrition, but you'll always be at a disadvantage, Piccolo explains. No one understands the current Goku better than Piccolo, but at the same time, Piccolo wants Goku to understand the full extent of this. I know, Piccolo, but think about it. It didn't really take much from me at all to defeat Majin Buu, Goku says. Yeah, you were exerting more effort while farming than while fighting Majin Buu, Piccolo responds. Exactly. This power that I have is almost cheating. It allows me to be exactly as strong as I need to be, and anyone who can grow stronger at the same rate will eventually be dwarfed out by my own growth, Goku says. But Cell seems like he would be the exception here. Is that what you're implying, Goku? Piccolo asks. Well, yeah. Trust me, just leave him to me, Piccolo, and can you make sure that nobody gets wrapped up into this? Piccolo nods and then flies away to maintain a safe distance. Are you done talking now, Goku? Cell asks. Well, what's the rush? I know you've been looking forward to this for years now, Goku responds. Cell grins and then the fight would finally begin. Goku starts off in his base state and is able to counter all of Cell's attacks for the most part. He is occasionally hit, but nothing too crazy. Cell is strong, but still well within Goku's reach. Eventually, Goku decides to finally start taking this more serious. I'm grateful to you, Cell. Thanks to you, I'll be able to test the true limits of my own abilities, Goku states. The pleasure is all mine, Goku. If it wasn't for your existence, I would have been born an imperfect, hungry fiend, Cell replies. Goku then finally brings out his legendary Super Saiyan transformation, and this results in a major flash of light that just illuminates the entire battlefield. The light causes Cell to blink, but before he's able to open his eyes again, Goku is already in front of him, hitting him with a punch. Can you keep up with the speed? Goku asks. You'll have to work harder than that, Cell says. Damn, you tanked that like it was nothing, Goku says, shocked. Cell pushes him away and then launches a Kamehameha. Goku counters it with an energy blast, and in doing so, also realizes that at this moment in time, he was now stronger than Cell. Why do you look so displeased, Goku? Cell asks. Nothing, I was just thinking that you've been nothing but a disappointment, Goku states. Hearing this, Cell simply laughs. Well, everything needs a proper build-up. Don't you think so too, Goku? Cell says. He then braces himself and unleashes his energy in every direction. Tell me, Goku, is this what you were waiting for? Could you have predicted this, Cell asks. This bio-android with the DNA of all of these powerful warriors across time had more or less become a legendary Super Saiyan himself thanks to Goku. Goku would get even more excited now and launches himself straight at Cell, and Cell does the same. The collision of their fists results in a near equal clash. Honestly, I knew this would happen, but I never expected you to use the transformation so easily, Goku says. Well, how very naive of you, Cell responds. The back and forth exchange of kicks and punches continues, but because they're both also growing at nearly the same rate, the fight has been reduced to a rather comical stalemate where both Goku and Cell are just duking it out over who can outgrow the other first. This isn't even a battle of attrition anymore. This is a battle of escalation, a race to supremacy, I guess, Piccolo says. And I'm sure you guys have noticed by now, but since this what if doesn't have any future Trunks, there was nobody who told Goku and the others about how the androids are gonna lead the world into this era of perpetual darkness. Goku and Piccolo are totally in the dark about the true threat these androids pose. In fact, they don't even know that there are more androids from where Cell came from. They don't know about Dr. Gero either. However, out of pure curiosity, Goku would ask, so what are your plans, Cell? What are you planning on doing here on Earth, Goku asks. I suppose you are curious because you think I'm a threat that seeks to destroy the world, Cell replies. Well, are you, Goku asks? That was my purpose, but I'm not interested in petty nonsense like Dr. Gero's revenge or anything like that. The only thing I need is to prove that I'm the strongest, that's all. If anything, I'd like to keep you around because that way there will always be someone who can help me understand just how strong I become or just how much I've fallen. You get what I mean, Cell asks? Yeah, I understand, but who's this Dr. Gero guy, Goku asks. He's the deceased doctor who programmed the supercomputer that ended up creating me. He actually passed away when I burst out of my pod, Cell replies. That's a little hard to understand, but am I right in assuming that you're not a bad guy, Goku asks? Well, you can decide that for yourself, Cell replies while landing a clean hit across Goku's face. Meanwhile, on a certain planet at the far end of Universe 7, somebody would finally wake up. Oh, isn't it still a decade or so too early for you to wake, Lord Beerus? Whis says. I had a dream where I was defeated by a Saiyan. A green-haired one at that, Beerus replies. What, you defeated by a Saiyan? Interesting. And with green hair. Very interesting, Whis says. What are you on about, Whis? Saiyans are weak fodder. Even their king was pathetic, Beerus states. I know what you mean, Lord Beerus, but right now, a Saiyan is fighting an interesting specimen on a blue planet in the Milky Way galaxy. He has green hair just like the guy from your dream, Whis responds. Alright, let's go then. It'll be a good way to get some blood flowing. My body is still half asleep, Beerus states. The two of them will leave planet Beerus and fast forward to 35 minutes later, they arrive on planet Earth. Goku and Cell were still trading blows and countering each other's attacks, but the moment Beerus and Whis stepped foot on the planet, they immediately stopped. Where are we, Whis? Beerus asks. It appears that there are humans in the middle of some celebration, Whis responds. A celebration? Are you sure this is the planet where that Saiyan is fighting? Beerus asks. Of course, I mean, look, that's Prince Vegeta standing over there, and guess what? The celebration is about his son's birth, Whis states while pointing in Vegeta's direction. Seeing this, Beerus elapses past everyone and appears right in front of Vegeta. Ah, yes, I remember you. You are the king's son. What are you doing here on Earth? What happened to your own planet? Beerus casually asks. As everyone watches in confusion, it takes Vegeta 10 seconds to fully process the fact that God of Destruction Beerus has somehow appeared on his son's birthday right in front of him. Vegeta is eventually able to get his circuitry back on track, but hesitantly he would finally respond, Lord Beerus, what has brought you here? As for your question, unfortunately planet Vegeta was destroyed by Frieza. Ah, yes, I remember now. I was the one who told him to do that, Beerus replies while yawning. What? Vegeta responds. At the same time, Goku, Piccolo, and even Cell enter the celebration through the ceiling. Goku, what's going on? Who are all these people? Bulma asks. She was visibly displeased. But before Goku could respond to her question, Beerus pretty much shadow steps past everyone again. It happens way too fast for any of the spectators, besides Whis, of course, to follow. But when the dust settles, Goku is seen lying on the ground. Whoa, you aren't half bad, Saiyan. What's your name? Beerus asks. It's Son Goku. What about you? I would have never imagined that my legendary Super Saiyan form could be defeated so easily, Goku exclaims. He powers back up to legendary Super Saiyan and asks Beerus if they could take this someplace more suitable for the type of fight that they want to have. That is going to do it for this one, guys. I really hope you all enjoyed What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan Part 3. If you have been, consider leaving a like on the video as well as subscribing to the channel and turning those notifications on so you never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And liking the video is the easiest way to support the channel for free, so let's try to get this video to 1,500 likes for part 4 of What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan. But anyways, have a great day. Be sure you guys are paying attention to the community tab as well as the shorts tab as well, because I upload multiple shorts a day most of the time. But anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Goku dismembering and tossing Frieza to the wayside in a fit of rage was the moment he stopped feeling like himself. The idea of nigh boundless power sent his mind into a depressive state. Is this it? Has he become the strongest? Will there ever be someone who can push him to his limits once again? Goku stopped training for a while and started farming. Majin Buu got resurrected a decade earlier, but he easily took care of the evil Buu, and good Buu started living at the Capsule Corp as Vegeta's training partner. The Supreme Kai was shaken to his core, but Goku himself, taking down Buu took less effort than his average day at the farm. The legendary Super Saiyan transformation may give you an endless supply of energy in addition to a practically unfathomable and exponential increase in power, but for Goku, it was just a curse. Working at the farm was his way to cope with the fact that he may have already become the strongest in the universe, as far as he knew. However, 2 years later, the thing that he had been looking forward to is finally complete. Perfect Cell is born with the genetic traits of Piccolo, Vegeta, King Cold, Majin Buu, and Goku's legendary Super Saiyan transformation. It all happens, oddly enough, on the same day Trunks is born. Goku and Perfect Cell engage in a battle to prove who is the strongest, but right as their clash sends shockwaves bustling through the invisible dimensions, the actual strongest warrior wakes up. Beerus had recently had a dream where he experiences defeat at the hands of a green-haired Saiyan. Together with Whis, he takes to Earth and barges in on the party. Goku, Cell, and Piccolo also appear at the scene, and before anyone could even realize what was going on, Goku is defeated. Beerus sees the green-haired Saiyan and slams him on the ground at an inconceivable speed. The intense and abrupt nature of Beerus' attack snaps Goku out of his legendary Super Saiyan form and back to his base state, and what happens next was something hysterical. For the first time in 3 years, Goku's face lights up with a genuine smile. He can finally feel it in his soul, the thrill of facing an opponent that you can't possibly defeat right now. As expected, Beerus was impressed though. Oh, you aren't half bad, Saiyan. What's your name? He asks. It's Goku. What about you? I would never have even imagined that my legendary Super Saiyan form could still be defeated so easily, Goku responds. He obviously had no clue about who or what Beerus even was, but it didn't matter to Goku. He was just relieved at the fact that there were still people out there stronger than him. Whis would use his staff and restore everything at the party back to how it was before Beerus just one-shot Goku. Goku, Beerus, and even Perfect Cell would then take to somewhere empty to continue their brief little clash. I'm surprised you didn't fly away with them too, Vegeta, Bulma says. This is not the time to be thinking about testing my strength. That guy is the god of destruction. He can wipe out their entire planet on a whim, Vegeta replies. And you stayed behind to make sure we're all safe, huh? Isn't that sweet, Bulma says. Just shut up, Vegeta instinctively responds. Meanwhile, Goku and Cell take Beerus to the same place where they had their own little fight. You said your name is Goku, right? What the hell are you exactly? I could never have imagined that a Saiyan could be this strong, Beerus asks. I have the same question actually. How did you so easily knock me out? Who are you exactly, Goku asks. Cell is also intrigued, and for what it's worth, he was thinking about, damn, what would happen if I had this guy's cells too? My name is Beerus, the destroyer of this universe, he responds. Destroyer? As in god of destruction, Cell asks. Yeah, and what about you? Goku is obviously a Saiyan, but just what are you, Beerus asks. He was genuinely curious. I am the amalgamation of the greatest genetic traits in the universe, the ultimate genetic masterpiece, Cell responds. Well, are you strong as well, Beerus says. Well, you bet, Cell replies. Goku wanted to ask Beerus if there are other people as strong as him out there, but it was too late for another question because Beerus was already using the same move on Cell that he used on Goku moments prior. Even though Cell sees it coming and attempts to counter it, Beerus is just not only far too fast, but strong enough to knock him out with pure force as well. There isn't any trick or gimmick, he's just really that much stronger than us, Goku exclaims. It takes a moment, but Cell gets back up just like Goku did. I guess you two aren't half bad. Come on, show me everything you've got, Beerus says. Alright, I'll go first, Goku replies. Do as you please, Cell says. No, that's not what I meant. Both of you come at me at once, Beerus demands. This catches them off guard, but sure, Goku and Cell take the plunge. Goku from the right and Cell from the left. Together, they land their blows on Beerus at full strength. Beerus just casually stops them with one hand each and then throws them away. Good, that was good. You're making me put in a little bit of effort now, Beerus remarks. Hearing this, Goku grins a little bit and then lets his legendary Super Saiyan aura flow freely now. I'm really glad you showed up here, Lord Beerus, Goku states as he dashes straight at the destroyer and lands a brutal kick straight across his face. But Beerus blocks it with his elbow and then attempts to punch Goku in the abdomen, but Goku dodges it and uses the moment to pull away a little, but then immediately charges back towards Beerus and hits him with a point-blank eraser cannon from the chest. Damn, that did nothing. You gotta be kidding me, Goku laughs. As expected, Beerus tanked that eraser cannon like it was a paper ball. To be fair, you do feel stronger than when I knocked you out at that celebration, Beerus remarks. Yeah, but I don't know. Your strength seems boundless, like literally. What kind of power do you use, Lord Beerus? Goku asks. It's instinct. You can learn to do this too. After all, power derived solely from instinct is boundless, Beerus states. Goku was genuinely intrigued now. Is that true, Lord Beerus? Anyone can learn this power of destruction you use, Cell asks. Indeed. Although I doubt you'd ever become comparable to me, even if you learned and mastered this strength, Beerus yawns. Suddenly, Whis appears beside him with a plate of his favorite snack. Oh, I was wondering what was taking you so long. You were enjoying yourself at that celebration, weren't you, Whis? Beerus says, annoyed. Oh, come on, Lord Beerus. Here, have a taste of this, Whis says while handing the plate over to Beerus. Beerus finishes that entire plate within a couple of seconds and asks Whis to take him back because this stuff is to die for. But Cell would plead for Lord Beerus to stay because they haven't finished their battle yet, and this is when he powers back up again as well. Yeah, Lord Beerus, we're not done here yet, Goku adds. Beerus would simply turn around, glare at them both, and say, no. We're done here. Immediately, he disappears from sight, and much like how Black Frieza one-shotted Goku and Vegeta in the original story, Beerus does the same to Goku and Cell here. They see it coming. They brace themselves even for the impact, but just like before, Beerus is not only far too fast, but far too strong for them as well and knocks them both out with a single punch each. That was pretty intense, Lord Beerus. I thought you were interested in these two, Whis asks. Yes, they do show a lot of promise, but it's still far too early for them to be a good challenge. I'd rather focus on getting some more of whatever was on that plate you brought me, Beerus replies. Whis then takes him back to the celebration, and thanks to Vegeta's diplomacy, Beerus enjoys an entire table full of the finest dishes and sweets the planet has to offer. Goku and Cell, on the other hand, are just lying on the ground still. Hey, if you're still up to it, I can fight you, Goku asks. Cell would just lay there silently. Well, hey, did you notice the guy that was with him? He looks all fun and easygoing, but he must be pretty strong too, Goku replies. Isn't it ironic, Goku? Cell begins. I thought my perfect form arranged of cells and DNA from the strongest warriors would make it at least difficult to locate a being more powerful than myself. Needless to say, it was not in the cards to run into a god of destruction, Cell sighs. Goku really couldn't understand this somber attitude from Cell though, so he just kinda chuckled. I mean, he thought it was funny that Cell completely changed his tune from a couple of hours ago. As I said, I'm not interested in what Dr. Gero had planned for me. I do, however, seek to prove that I am the ultimate life form. I'll somehow become able to use that power of destruction or whatever, and I'll even eventually defeat both Beerus and whoever that guy was that was with him. So try your best to keep up, Goku, because otherwise you won't even be relevant in a few weeks, Cell says. Hey, no need to be like that. I mean, we could always just train together. Believe it or not, I've actually got just the right place in mind, Goku says. What? Cell asks. And the next thing you know, Goku and Cell are at the lookout, standing at the door to the hyperbolic time chamber. I think they about to get some split screen Spark and Zero action in. Are you for real? A year in here is just a day in the real world? That sounds magnificent, actually, Cell says. It's true. This is the room of spirit and time, a separate dimension altogether where time kind of flows differently. We'll train here for an entire year and it'll just be 24 hours back out on Earth. Get it? We can grind for a whole year, get exponentially stronger, and by the time we're out, we should theoretically be strong enough to go toe-to-toe with even a god of destruction, Goku declares. Are you sure? I could pull a sneak attack and kill you at any point in here, you know, Cell says. Even better, Goku replies. And with that, the 1 year long training arc for legendary Super Saiyan Goku and Perfect Cell would begin. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Beerus asks Vegeta a pretty important question. Hey, are you also as strong as that Goku guy, he asks? Followed by saying, unfortunately no. I'm afraid that he's an anomaly even by Super Saiyan standards. He is the legendary Super Saiyan that is said to appear only once every 1,000 years, Vegeta states. I see. So he must also be the new Saiyan King. That's actually good news. I really dislike that stingy clown King Vegeta whom you guys had as your previous king, Beerus replies. This definitely annoyed Vegeta a little, but nowhere near enough for his facial expression to change in front of Beerus. Lord Beerus, only 2 pure-blooded Saiyans are left in this universe. It's just me and Kakarot. There is no planet or people for there to be a king, Vegeta replies. Oh, really? Whis, is that true? Beerus asks. It is true for the most part. However, there is a lone Saiyan on a random planet at the far end of the universe, Whis replies. What? You mean there's still another Saiyan out there, Vegeta asks? Well, yeah, you should pay him a visit sometime, Whis responds. Anyways, Vegeta, hypothetically speaking, if I decided to destroy this planet right now, what would you do, Beerus asks. The look in his eyes says that he was dead serious. I would have to stand in your way, Lord Beerus. My child was born today. This is my home now, and I won't lose my home a second time, Vegeta declares. That's a pretty good answer. What do you think, Whis? What should we do, Beerus asks. Personally, I enjoy the food here on this planet, Lord Beerus, Whis responds. Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing, Beerus says. Vegeta was clenching his fist so tight now that blood started dripping onto the floor. It had only been his handful of times in the presence of Lord Beerus that he had ever felt so powerless, so defeated, and irrelevant. He knew for a fact that if Beerus decided to destroy Earth, he wouldn't be able to do a thing about it. And well, as these thoughts are racing throughout his mind, Kakarot's image pops up in front of his eyes. For a moment, he breathes a sigh of relief, glad that Kakarot is here because he may be able to stop even the destroyer of the universe as a legendary Super Saiyan. However, when Vegeta becomes conscious of these thoughts, he feels enraged. He was about to leave the job of protecting his family to someone else. Vegeta feels disgusted at himself and his powerlessness. He drops down on his knees and asks, Lord Beerus, what can I do to become stronger? Why are you asking me this question? Beerus asks. It's because you're the strongest. Please, teach me what it means to be strong, Vegeta asks. And this is where we are going to cap off part 4 of What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan, but where is this story going to go from here? Can Goku and Cell's year-long training be enough to rival the overwhelming power of Beerus the Destroyer? And who is this lone Saiyan on a random planet at the edge of the universe? Is it Broly? But how? Goku is the legendary Super Saiyan in this timeline, and more importantly, will Beerus entertain Vegeta's request? Stay tuned, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And don't forget to leave a like on the video before we get out of here, guys. We are right around the corner from 1 million subscribers, guys, but more importantly, all of those questions and more will be answered in the following chapters of What If Goku Was Born the Legendary Super Saiyan. What if Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan? Cell had Majin Buu's DNA as well, and Beerus was in fact looking for the legendary Super Saiyan instead of the Super Saiyan God this time. Goku transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan against Frieza. He killed Frieza and there was no need for future Trunks. Majin Buu appeared a decade earlier because of Goku's energy output, but he took care of him as well. Next is Cell. In this reality, Cell had Majin Buu's DNA and legendary Super Saiyan cells, if you can believe it. Beerus wakes up from his dream and comes to Earth to meet the legendary Super Saiyan. Both Goku and Cell are of course one shot by Beerus. They then decide to train in the time chamber for 24 hours while Vegeta requests Beerus and Whis to make him stronger. Whis trains Vegeta for about 12 hours straight. When Goku and Cell come out of the time chamber, Beerus and Whis take them to planet Beerus. Vegeta also tags along. Once there, Cell versus Beerus round 2 happens, but of course he loses again. Following this battle, Beerus gives Cell an ultimatum. Will he choose to become his successor or perish for all eternity? Cell gives in and accepts becoming the Destroyer's successor. Next is Goku's turn. He fights Beerus and ends up forcing Beerus to use more and more of his strength. And that is where the previous part of What If Goku Was the Legendary Super Saiyan ended. As for better or worse, this will be the finale, and I hope you guys are excited for this one. I know I've been keeping you waiting for a long time. Spark and Zero had just been taking over everything, but we are finally back with the end of What If Goku Was the Legendary Super Saiyan. As Vegeta observes Goku versus Beerus round 2, his mind becomes silent and he starts seeing things for what they actually are. Whis notices this and makes a comment. That's right, Vegeta, don't try and run from this ego death. Become empty and you too will become strong. Meanwhile, Beerus tells Goku, your power is far more vicious than that other guy. Maybe I should have had you become my successor instead. Wait, if I become your successor, will I be able to challenge destroyers of other universes? Goku asks while attempting to land a kick on Beerus' shoulder. Never mind, I should have known better. Beerus grabs Goku's leg and slams him on the ground. As Goku crashes into the ground, a crater forms beneath him. He grits his teeth and gets up while experiencing yet another surge of raw power. You are now stronger than you were when we were fighting a few minutes ago, Goku says while flashing his aura. I could say the same about you, Saiyan. How do you keep getting stronger? Your growth is even faster than that other guy, Beerus says with an almost feral grin on his face. Goku launches himself at Beerus and starts throwing a barrage of punches and kicks, but instead of blocking, evading, or even countering, Beerus allows Goku to hit him. Goku's assault continues for one continuous minute before Beerus punches him in the gut. Goku bears it, pulls back his right hand, gathers energy, and launches as much raw power as he can directly at Beerus. A disgusting amount of raw energy explodes outwards from Goku's palm and envelops Beerus, but Goku can only watch as the raw energy starts evaporating instead almost immediately. Not bad, Goku, but as you can see, destruction can destroy even energy itself. I'm allowed to break the laws of physics, Beerus says while spinning a tiny sphere of destruction on his finger like a basketball. He then launches that tiny sphere at a nearby planet, and of course the planet is immediately erased, but the sphere is still there. It continues onward and keeps erasing more and more planets, even stars and black holes if you can believe it. Cell is bewildered while Vegeta continues observing. Goku grins and powers up even further. Come on, Saiyan, let's see who reaches their limit first, Beerus says. Goku disappears and reappears behind Beerus. He delivers a devastating kick aimed at Beerus' head, but Beerus ducks in time and retaliates with a swift elbow aimed at Goku's ribs. However, Goku grabs the elbow with his right hand. You're faster than before, Beerus says. And you're getting sloppier, Goku immediately replies and hits Beerus with another barrage of punches, but every single one of his punches is exponentially more precise and thorough than before. His speed since the beginning of this fight has increased by as much as 5 folds. Beerus also taps deeper into Ultra Ego and brings out a darker, much more intense aura. You look oddly comfortable, Saiyan. Let's see how you handle this, Beerus says while launching a sphere of destruction directly at Goku. Goku knows that this is serious because he has already seen what even a tiny sphere of destruction was able to do to those nearby planets. He takes a classic Kamehameha pose and waits until the sphere is at point blank range. Suddenly, Goku launches what can only be referred to as a Dimension Breaker Kamehameha as it rips through the fabric of dimensions and sucks the sphere of destruction somewhere else. Oh, that was quick thinking on Goku's part, Whis comments. I don't know, it was risky. I mean, what if that sphere erased both the other dimensions and Kakarot, Vegeta asks. That's a good question, but I'm sure even Goku knew that the sphere only saw him as the target. Don't worry, Lord Beerus will dispel it, Whis replies. The fight continues with Goku and Beerus in sort of a staring contest now, and the intensity of their glares is enough to strain the very fabric of the universe. You're not holding back, are you? Goku grins. Hearing this, Beerus laughs. That's right, Saiyan, congratulations. Right now, I'm using 100% of my power. Vegeta watches as they dash towards each other at incomprehensible speeds. Their fists meet each other and the impact disrupts the boundaries of the universe. Just like that, both of them are pulling into a rift and find themselves in a dimension of endless horizons. Their fight continues inside there, and both of them trade blows without a single regard for their surroundings. This continues on for the next 2 or so hours, but then something odd happens to Goku's power. What's wrong? Your energy has started pulsating weirdly, Beerus asks, but Goku doesn't respond. Instead, he lets out sort of a primal scream. Thanks to the legendary Super Saiyan, Goku was able to continuously grow, but the more he relied on that growth to match Beerus, the more his mind and body began to lose touch with that growth. Right now, Beerus watches as Goku's legendary Super Saiyan enters into a wrathful state. He launches himself at Beerus without any strategy whatsoever, but somehow manages to force Beerus to go on the defensive. "Snap out of it, Goku," Beerus yells in his ear after grabbing his head, but it doesn't work. Seeing this, Beerus sighs. "I see. I thought I had finally found a rival, but I guess it was too good to be true after all. You've lost sense of yourself, Goku. I hope you won't mind if I erase you right here, right now," Beerus says while raising his hand. Pure destructive energy in his palm, but just as he was about to use Hakai, Goku unleashes a diabolical roar from the depths of his soul. The sheer force of Goku's roar creates a shockwave that ripples through the dimension. Cracks appear all around them, and the boundaries between dimensions begin to fracture. The dimensions shatter, and the two of them find themselves above planet Beerus once again. Beerus turns his head around to take care of Goku, but it seems that there was no longer any need. Whis had already knocked Goku out. "I didn't need your help, Whis," Beerus says. "I'm actually from 3 minutes in the future," Whis replies. "What?" Beerus says, amused. Whis explains that when Beerus used Hakai on Goku, Goku roared once again. His roar stops Hakai and then disperses it. It spreads throughout time and space, which destroys the flow of the universe. Whis adds that the destruction was too much, and so he had no choice but to do a temporal do-over. "That's crazy," Beerus comments. "Yes, my lord, it seems even though Cell also shares the same cells, there's still something special about Son Goku. It's almost as if he has inherited primal nature himself," Whis says. "Well, should we still get rid of him?" Beerus asks. "No, that would be unwise. Instead, allow me to teach him Ultra Instinct. If Goku manages to combine Ultra Instinct with this primal nature of his legendary Super Saiyan, he could become the strongest mortal in all 12 universes," Whis declares. Alright, I'll leave it to you, but for now, I feel like going back to Earth. What do you say?" Beerus asks. "Oh, don't worry, I brought your favorite yakisoba with me. It's right there on the table next to your chair," Whis says. Beerus smiles deviously and starts just going to town on that yakisoba. Whis lays Goku on the ground, with the Goku still unconscious. "Kakarot, what kind of mutant are you?" Vegeta asks out loud. "I'm impressed at how much your observation was able to improve thanks to those 12 hours. If you'd like, I can continue training you," Whis asks Vegeta. "Wait, what about me? What am I supposed to do as the Destroyer's successor?" Cell asks. Beerus looks up from his food and says, "I'll whip you into shape myself, Green Man." "Green what?" Cell asks. "I told you that if you lose, you'll have to change your name to something else. Decide quickly or it'll be Green Man from here on out," Beerus declares, with Cell replying, "You gotta be kidding me." "Personally, I quite like the name Cell over Green Man, at least," Whis says. "Yeah, but the name Cell kind of pisses me off, so if you don't like Green Man, suggest something else," Beerus asks Whis. "Well, how about Genos? He's kind of made up of the genes of the strongest warriors, so Genos is fitting," Whis says. "I like that." "Alright, Green Man, you're Genos from now on," Beerus replies. "But this is unfair, Mr. Destroyer. I've already agreed to your ultimatum. Why must you also punish me by taking my name? If it's gonna be like that, I'd rather you just erase me instead," Cell declares. "Don't worry, the moment you officially succeed me, you'll get your name back, Genos," Beerus says. Meanwhile, Vegeta just keeps staring off into the sky. "What's the matter? You didn't respond to my offer. Don't tell me you've already given up on becoming stronger, Vegeta," Whis asks. "No, it's actually the opposite. Thanks to you, I was able to free myself of my own mind and limitation. Those 12 hours truly changed my life, Whis. I can see everything more clearly now," Vegeta says. And Whis asks. He was thoroughly curious now. "I'm going on a journey," Vegeta declares. Whis, Beerus, and Cell are surprised by this answer, but nobody tries to change his mind. Vegeta asks Whis for a ship and leaves on a journey. Wait for me, Kakarot. By the time we see each other again, I will finally be your equal, Vegeta says out loud. For the next 8 months, Vegeta travels to different planets, meets many different kinds of people, and learns new techniques and abilities from them. During the 9th month, he comes across a portal to the Room of Spirit and Time on a random planet. Vegeta decides to stop his travels and train for a few days. For the first 24 hours, he masters all the new techniques he's learned. Then he does shadow image training for the next 5 days. It's already been 6 days, huh? Guess that's 6 years of my life, Vegeta says. He then recalls that the last time he went Super Saiyan was when he trained with Whis. Realizing this, Vegeta gets curious about how far he's come. He goes Super Saiyan, but immediately enters the next level and becomes a Super Saiyan 2. But Vegeta can tell that his body is already ready for another transformation. Though, interestingly enough, this version of Vegeta feels far too enlightened to ever try something as crude as Super Saiyan 3. Instead, Vegeta's latent aura triggers something completely different, something far more impressive than Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta would trigger the Limit Breaker. Since Vegeta's mind had given up on the concepts of limits, he was able to attain the Limit Breaker state. And he would achieve it while using Super Saiyan 2, and this would be Super Saiyan 2 Full Power Limit Breaker Vegeta. Vegeta would train while in this state for 2 more days and gets completely used to it. By the time he exits the time chamber, it's been around 8 days in the real world, but as far as the amount of time he spent training, well, that's coming out to around 8 years at this point. I'm gonna need a shave, Vegeta tells himself. He spends the next month hunting food on nearby planets so that he can restock the inventory of this particular Room of Spirit and Time, because in those 8 years, he ate all of the food that was in this chamber's massive storage room. Once he's done restocking the food, he resumes on his journey. Vegeta travels, and after 2 more months, he ends up on planet Yardrad. He spends a year there and masters the instant transmission technique. He uses this technique to visit Bulma and Trunks because it had already been 2 years since he left. Bulma was visibly upset at him for leaving without saying anything, and so she grounds him for 10 months at least. What do you mean I can't leave the planet, Bulma? Vegeta patiently asks. No, think about what you did. You left for 2 years and didn't even think about informing us. Enlightenment my ass, Bulma replies. Sorry, but come on. I have instant transmission now. I'll be back by dinner every day, I promise, Vegeta says. No, you're not leaving Earth for the next 10 months, Bulma states. Why 10 months though? Just curious what's with that number, Vegeta asks. You'll find out soon, Bulma replies. Vegeta spends the next 10 months on Earth. He meets Goten and Gohan and learns that Goku still hasn't returned since that day. This surprises Vegeta because he thought that Beerus and Whis would be making regular trips to Earth, and Goku would of course be accompanying them. He wonders what's going on, but ultimately decides to not think about it too much. He should be focusing on his own growth after all. On one of these days, Vegeta has a dream where he has his tail again. When he wakes up, he gathers the Dragon Balls and asks Shenron to regrow his tail for him. He thought that recovering his tail was the next step in his journey, and he was actually right. Vegeta trains in the hyperbolic time chamber a couple of times and discovers exactly how strong he's become. During the 9th month of this 10-month curfew, Vegeta's daughter Bulla is mysteriously born. He actually ends up staying on Earth for more than 10 months because he didn't feel right leaving Bulla and just going off on another journey, although 1 year after he returned to Earth, Vegeta finally resumes his travel. He bids farewell to his family and continues onward to the other side of the universe. Vegeta continues expanding his frame of reference by meeting and engaging with all sorts of different races. At one point, he even visits planet Vampa and meets Broly, though in this version of the story, Broly is not the legendary Super Saiyan. Although he was still born with a power level of 10,000, which is why King Vegeta sent him and his father Paragus away to planet Vampa anyway. Vegeta actually befriends Broly and apologizes to Paragus. He also uses some of the new techniques he had learned to make planet Vampa fertile and livable. He transforms it into a green, lush planet. Eventually, he would leave and continue onward, though. Fast forward to the 5th year, and Vegeta acquires the ability to traverse through the boundaries of the universes. He already knows about the 12 universes, and so he simply uses the ability to enter Universe 6. Eventually, he stumbles upon planet Sadala and gets acquainted with the Saiyans here. Time continues to stack, and before you know it, it's been almost 7 years since the day Vegeta told Whis that he seeks to go out on his own journey, and he had become incomprehensibly stronger. But am I stronger than the legendary Super Saiyan? Vegeta asks himself. Sorry, that was a strange thing to ask, he says while shaking his head with a smile on his face. It's not like he doesn't care anymore, but if he asks himself questions like this, then that means he's already lost. He'll go back to the idea or the thought process of having limits. 2 months later, Goku realizes that it's been now exactly 7 years since he went berserk while fighting Beerus. Of course, it's also been 7 years since he last saw Vegeta. It's about time, Lord Beerus, Whis says. Ah, so the day has finally come, huh? I can't believe I'm this close to retirement, Beerus says. Well, technically, you'll have to serve as destroyer for another 10,000 years at least, but now you have a successor who can do your job for you, Whis replies. Exactly, I can just chill and let him handle it, and after 10,000 years, he'll take over for good. That's when I'll retire on Earth, Beerus laughs. Well, let's hope Earth is still around in another 10,000 years, Whis laughs. Beerus, Whis, Goku, and Cell then leave planet Beerus. Oh, by the way, Lord Beerus, where are we going, Goku asks. I can't believe you forgot. Today is the day we'll officially reveal Cell's status as my successor, Beerus says. The four of them eventually arrive at Zeno's palace. The representatives of the other 11 universes are also already there. The Grand Priest was the one who arranged this meeting, and his purpose was to disclose the current mortal level of each universe and to also warn them that if nothing changes in the next 100 years, they will be erased. After the boring stuff is over, Beerus excuses himself and introduces Cell as his successor to Zeno, the Grand Priest, as well as the authorities of the other universes. Everyone is shocked that Beerus, of all destroyers, was able to actually find a successor. Belmont then goes next and introduces Toppo as his successor. He then continues and asks the Grand Priest if it's possible to add a point to Universe 11's mortal level. The Grand Priest was intrigued by this request. You want me to add a point to your universe's mortal level, Belmont? That's an interesting proposition. Tell me what's so special about your universe that warrants such a bonus point. My universe has a warrior whose strength surpasses my own. I bet no other universe has produced a mortal of such high caliber, Belmont replies. Hearing this, Beerus could only smirk. Looks like we both have the same idea, Belmont. My universe has also produced such a mortal. In fact, I brought him with me today. This is Son Goku, a Saiyan, and I promise you, he's not only stronger than me, he's the strongest mortal in all 12 universes, Beerus declares. Wow, thank you, Lord Beerus. I didn't know you thought so highly of me, Goku says. You guys do realize that mortal level has nothing to do with the strength of a single individual, the Destroyer of Universe 1 comments. The Destroyers of the other universes agree, but then Zeno speaks up. It sounds interesting enough. I'll allow it. Whichever universe can prove that they have the strongest mortal will be exempt from the penalty, Zeno declares. All of the universes with low mortal levels summon their strongest mortals, with Universe 11 summoning Jiren, Universe 6 summoning Hit, and Universe 7, of course, producing Goku, who was the legendary Super Saiyan and had also the ability to use Ultra Instinct now. A battle royale takes place between the strongest individuals of each universe, and eventually Goku is the only one still left standing. Universe 7 was now exempt from the low mortal level penalty, but as Goku is leaving the ring with a disappointed expression on his face, he hears a familiar voice. Where are you going, Kakarot? Everyone was stunned as someone appears in the middle of the ring. It was Vegeta. He was in Universe 12 when he learned about this battle royale. He used his instant transmission to find Goku's ki and teleported straight to the center of the ring. Wow, no way, Goku says. Yes, now come on. I know it's been a while, but you're not done, are you? Vegeta says while powering up. I'm never done, Vegeta. You came at the perfect time, Goku declares as he unleashes the power of the legendary Super Saiyan form. Vegeta responds by transforming into Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2, then Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 4 full power limit breaker, and then finally, Vegeta would reveal his latest transformation, Super Saiyan 5. Goku may have been the legendary Super Saiyan, but Vegeta was able to harness the Saiyan heritage to the extent that no one in multiversal history had ever done before. And just like that, the final battle to decide the strongest mortal in existence begins. It was a battle between two Saiyans, and right now, just like how it had always been, it was between Goku and Vegeta.